Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luka's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
All right, Luka Nation. I think we've got a full crew here. People will join, people will be in and out. It's going to be pretty loose here. But the thing is, when Cage and I started this podcast in July, we were really just two guys who wanted to talk sports cards. We wanted you guys to learn from some of our mistakes, some of our wins, some things that were working for us. And ultimately, the dream is that people also find financial freedom for themselves. What's been interesting is the community, the movement that we've started. We could have never imagined it would be anything like this. And we wanted to do something special for you guys. You know, we do an episode every day. We share our daily plays and things like that. But we thought, why not chat and get to know the people behind the scenes, you know, behind the Instagram usernames. So we just wanted to do this, get to know you guys, get to know your favorite Grail card, you know, favorite memory of the hobby this year. And with that, I wanted to kick it off. Cage, you want to say a few words to our amazing community here?
Yeah, that was very formal. So the hell with what you just said. He's so formal. Guys, listen, it's New Year's. You know, hopefully you started drinking already. It's funny. I mean, I'm hoping for Oliver to join us at 7 a.m. out in California where he is, and I'm hoping him to jump in with a little champagne. Start like the Yankees just won a World Series, right, Jack? But it's been too long. But yeah, I mean, guys, listen, this is as informal as it gets. You know, we were bullshitting last night, and we were like, all right, let's get people on the phone. You know, let's get people on a Zoom call. You know, let's celebrate what we've created in 2020. And you know, it's an amazing community. I love the groups that we have. You know, I love this group we created. I mean, everybody's got great ideas. Yam with the Hollywood Squares, man. Look at you. I love it. So I mean, it's a great group of people, and you know. This is something we would probably do if it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't for this year, the craziness. You know, we'd say, look, we're going to have a meetup at the National or the Dallas show coming up in a couple of weeks or whatever it may be. But obviously, everybody, you know, we're in all different walks of life. You know, you can't do it. You can't travel. This has just been, you know, a crazy 2020. So we want to put a capper on it and, you know, say hi. But more importantly, you know, we can thank you for 30 seconds at the end of an episode, right? We can thank you guys for, you know, all of the input you have, all of the great ideas you have, all the support you've given us. But I think it's a little bit better if you see, this is me, you know, this is Andrew, that's Jordan, that's the producer. We want to say thank you and want you to see that we actually mean it. Like, we love you guys. We really do. We love that you chime in, you listen, you participate, you have great ideas, and you help us build this community. This group, the folks here on this call, you guys are the OGs of Luka Nation. Like, this is the backbone. This is the heart. This is the key. We love every one of you. So yeah, I mean, we wanted to chat with you. We wanted to make an episode with you. You know, we wanted to talk to you about your hobby journey. You know, what you like, what you don't like. You know, what you're afraid of, what you're hopeful for. I mean, anything. There's no right, wrong answer, but you know, we'd love to just kind of get a round table. If we were all in person, we'd sit down at a big table. I'd buy everybody a beer and we'd bullshit. We talk about, you know, some stories. If you logged in before, I would tell you guys, I'll start with a quick one. Everybody sees the Tiger Woods stuff going crazy, right? You see the prices on Tiger Woods, the upper deck card going nuts. You know, Jordan happens to have one. So he's doing well, right? He's looking to move it, right? Jordan's looking to smile like like Sylvester the cat there just finally caught Tweety Bird, right? He's excited. But I'll tell you guys, end of last year, might have been the beginning of this year. I'll have to go look. It was January, December, February, sometime in that range. I was in a group with Andrew, just like our group, right? Where a lot of ideas are exchanged, you name it. And one guy was all big on Tiger Woods. He's like, oh, Tiger Woods is going to be huge. It's going to be great. You got to buy Tiger Woods. He's one of the GOATs. And that card was selling at the time for about $85. The PSA 10, $85, which, Jordan, what are they going for now? $1,200?
I'm getting offers like crazy for at least $1,000.
So, I mean, insanity, right? So $85. There was one seller who obviously was like a huge Tiger Woods guy. There was one seller who had 100 PSA 10s at $80 a piece and 80 BGS 10s at $100 a piece. And no bullshit, guys. I put all 180 of them in my cart. It was like $16,000 plus tax, you name it. It was like, I was like, all right, I'm going to buy them all. It was a weekend. And I was like, all right, I started messaging the guy, hey, I have these all in my cart. Is there a way to maybe get a little bit of a discount on it? You want to talk off eBay, you name it, the whole deal. And for some reason during that weekend, I talked myself out of buying these. And I'm an idiot. Instead of just buying a couple, I'm an all or nothing guy. I mean, hopefully you guys realize this already from our podcast, right? So I legit did not buy any of them. And ultimately, I think like 3 days later, every one of them was gone. I don't know if the guy pulled them down off of eBay himself or someone did what I was thinking about doing and just bought them all. Jordan bought them, yeah. But that's 16, let's call it 18 grand with tax and whatnot. It's worth about $250,000 now, like less than a year later. And it's just insanity, right? So, I mean, when you think about this stuff, like, lessons learned or whatever it is, my biggest lesson, and this I learned from Andrew, is I got to let that shit go, right? Because there'll be another one. There'll be another 5 of these, or that 16 grand that might have been what I used to buy something else that's gone up. I think I was buying Trae Young that same week. You know what I mean? So, that's my 20. Go ahead.
I'm excited for our conversations next year, 1 year from now, right? What are the cards that we're going to buy that we're going to be like, man, I should have held it or I should have sold it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about those conversations. We got Travis joining, but let's open up with some questions. Let's open up with some questions. Who want to step up? I don't know how to run these Zoom meetings.
Well, listen.
I'm going to ask Naderade.
Ask Naderade. There we go.
Naderade.
Hey, so
where are you at in the world?
So I currently live in like Alexandria, Virginia, which is in the DC metro area. So a couple miles from the Potomac. Active duty military guy that I've been in like 14 years, but I'm actually separating next year in the summertime. So looking forward to that. But I guess the question too is like, so in like, we talk bad about like junk wax era and stuff like that and how much stuff was printed. But when looking at certain sets within that era, right, that are like you can consider iconic or iconic teams or something like that, do you think that there's like a lot of potential value in the future for things like that with low pops in PSA 10?
Hey, that's a question for you.
For me, the answer is easily yes, right? So we just talked about Tiger Woods. I mean, there's 9,000 of his PSA 10s. If there's enough demand for something, it'll go. And there's ways to play the junk wax era. People don't really. I'm gonna try to keep these short, right? This way we can get everybody can ask a question. But people don't really realize this unless you were opening at the time or buying at the time. All of those years in the 80s have Tiffany, glossy. They have variations of the cards, right? So Fleer had a Fleer glossy. Topps and Bowman had Tiffany versions, which are, even though they're junk era cards, they are low print. They were made in sets. So like if you type in, like, let's say you're a Griffey guy and you want to get his Topps card, but the 89 Topps traded in PSA 10's got a huge pop, get the 89 Topps traded Tiffany, and you see it's a couple $1,000s. So there's definitely ways to play that junk wax era. But even that, I'll tell you what I've learned over the last year or two in the hobby is the pops, they're not the whole story, right? And you're seeing it with Zion, right? How much is a Zion PSA 10 Prism card now? What is it, $1,000? I mean, it's crazy how much these things sell for. And we all know there's going to be thousands of that card. The Luka Prism, there's 10,000 of them, and it's a $2,000 card, right? So what that tells me is if you're focusing on cards that are going to have that demand, there's always room for it to grow. The pop is only half of the equation. I saw that the 89 Upper Deck Griffey Jr. card. There was 1 million of those printed, but PSA 10, was there a couple thousand of them, and that's an iconic card in the hobby. And I remember I should have bought more, but I bought one. It was like $400 when I bought one 2 years ago. I mean, they're more than that now, but that's a card that I think will continue to, go up in value because that's one that's going to have demand, So yeah, junk wax era, Nate. I mean, it's funny because people who are coming back in the hobby, I literally, before we got on the phone here, a work colleague of mine called me and said, "Hey, I got all my cards when I was a kid. I read an article. I know you're into cards. Hey, can I pay for my kid to go to Alabama?" And I'm like, probably not, unless you were one of those nerds that really bought like the best cards and never touched them again. But I got a Reggie Jackson rookie card. I'm like, all right, well, here's the deal, right? If that's a 10, you could pay for probably a semester of college. But if it's a 6, you're paying for lunch. So there's a big difference, right? So, I hope that answers it. I mean, the short answer is, yeah. I mean, even though there's a lot of pop on some of these things, the supply, some of the cards are going to be worth some money. Some of them are, I think that there's definitely room. We saw it with like Greg Maddox cards. They started to go up a little bit, 87 cards, you name it. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't completely shy away from them. I
Peter,
love cards.
I got a question for you. From this year, since you started listening to our podcast, what's your favorite podcast memory or your favorite card that you bought that we would have recommended?
Oh, so let's say favorite card I bought. I probably have it right here too. But yeah, I'm a Dodger fan. And I bought that 2005 Upper Deck Clayton Kershaw USA national team under 18. So it was awesome for me because I was looking for at Clayton Kershaw stuff. I love Kershaw. I think he gets a bad rap just because of some playoff stuff and some bad managing. But to get a card that was his first ever card, right? And I'm all into like USA sports and stuff like that. So like I asked that Junk Wax that question because I'm building out a lot of the 91-92 hoops and Skybox Dream Team Barcelona sets, right, in 10, which you get the whole set for like under $1,000, and you're about to come up on 30 years of it and in the documentary time. So like something's going to come out with the Dream Team stuff, and I think it's going to pop big. But yeah, definitely getting a Clayton Kershaw card, and then seeing some of the autos. Like you can get different variations of different inks in the autos for less than $300, and it's his first ever autograph. He was a senior in high school, pitching less than a 2 ERA, playing for the nation. So that was definitely my favorite episode because it got me into that.
Love it. This is a card you can own or you might want. What's your Grail card?
It's the 48 Leaf Jackie Robinson. So I just saw one go for 70. I watched an auction go for, I think it was like 79,000 2 nights ago. And that's my Grail card right there. So that's what I'm working up to. And actually, since listening to the podcast, I started a thing in like August with some friends, starting with $100 and what can we turn it into? And the Zion hype right now just got me over 5 figures since that time, starting from $100. So that's what I'm working at right now.
So Nate, before we gloss over that, you started with $100 and you're up over 5 figures. Flipping cards around. Like
I just flipped a bunch of those. I flipped a bunch of Zion base, and then I flipped also some of those Tiger Woods. But it was mostly because we set a deadline for December 31st that we had to have our final numbers, and I wanted to win. So
that's amazing, though. I mean, and listen, so I'll go out on a limb here. That Kershaw card, which is your favorite card, there are a lot of people giving sports card tips. Not many people giving them every day like Andrew and I are, but a lot of people, I don't think anybody else in 2020 gave that card as a card to buy. So I'm happy to hear that that's your card for all the reasons that you mentioned, because I think I'm probably the only person in the world to recommend buying that card. But I stand by it. I think it's a cool card, man. USA, his first card, and you can get it for significantly less than any of his other stuff. So
for sure.
So that makes me smile. I got a New Year's gift here. I love it.
Nate, could you say Happy New Year to Luka Nation? Because we're going to clip these off.
Happy New Year, Luka Nation. It's a pleasure to be a part of this.
Drake, can I put you on the spot here for a minute?
Just if I can cut in, Andrew, just to make my life a bit easier. I don't know if this is gonna maybe we could chop this up. When you ask the questions, if I can get the people who are going to answer the question, just repeat the question back. So if Andrew says, "What's your favorite Grail card?" Can your answer start with "My favorite" or "My Grail card is," and then answer, and that way we can just maybe have a little bit of a clean edit.
Because we're going to wrap this up. We're going to tag you guys, and we're going to make like kind of like a mashup video. So that's the whole vision for it.
Man, cool. Luka Nation.
Perfect.
By the way, this is how law school works, in case anybody's curious.
And let's get everyone. Let's get everyone to say their name when they do get on, if we can. That'd be nice.
I feel like I'm
don't mind me here. By the time our Zoom is done, that's a 2-liter bottle. Andrew's not joking. I'm gonna slam this. My breakfast.
Paige, when you guys gave opening statement at the law school and everyone had like 2 minutes, would you just go on and it would be like the end of class? Be like, I still haven't.
I just spent the whole class. Everybody loved me because no one had to be prepared. Teacher called on me. That was it. The rest of the class done.
Drake.
Morning.
Where are you from? Where are you joining us from in the country here?
Man, so I'm in Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's why you see all the Razorback stuff behind me.
Let's go. What's your favorite podcast memory of this year? Or what's a favorite card you might have picked up that, maybe we talked about, or the strategy about on the show?
Yeah. So my favorite card I picked up is one that you and I talked about quite a bit, was that 96 Fleer Ultra Kobe Bryant. That was an amazing card, in a PSA 10 when you were talking about it, and I saw the card, like I had a Topps Chrome, and I love the Topps Chrome. I know it's an amazing card, and it's the card, that everybody looks to, but there's a lot of them out there, right? And then I saw the Fleer Ultra with the black border and all that. It's just a cooler design. And when you see the pops in a PSA 10 or less than 250, that's just amazing.
Fun fact about that card, and I discovered it this morning, is some places it's listed as the Fleer Ultra. At some places it's just listed as the Ultra card. Like if you go to PSA Pop Report, it's actually just 1996 Ultra, which is really, really interesting because the Fleer is the metal looking one, like the silver, the shiny. Okay. What's your Grail card overall? You might own it because your collection is unbelievable, or it might be a card you're chasing or pursuing.
Yeah, so my one Grail card that I would love to own is a Peyton Manning Playoff Contenders Rookie Auto card. So growing up, Manning was my personal collection since I grew up in the Memphis area. I was a big fan of the Vols. And so that's one of the Manning cards that I don't have. So that's one that I'm trying to chase down.
Love it.
I thought you were gonna pull out of the woodwork a Corliss Williamson, Bill Clinton dual auto or something like that.
Exactly.
And if there's none of those cards out there, someone needs to make one.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you say Happy New Year to Luka Nation for us?
Happy New Year.
Love it. Travis, mind if I call on you?
Sure. What's up, Andrew? Good morning, guys.
Where are you joining?
I'm joining from Houston, Texas.
Let's go. What was your favorite podcast memory or card pickup of the year?
So my favorite podcast memory of the year, probably they kind of played off each other, starting with Jeremy Padower and the vintage Pokemon recommendations. And I kind of went down that rabbit hole, and that my favorite acquisition based on the podcast was some vintage Pokemon. And then Bro Namath talking about Dragon Ball, and I kind of got into that, and some vintage Dragon Ball as well. So those two things kind of really sent me down a non-sports rabbit hole. I love basketball and I follow it closely, but I'm old enough. I got so burned out by junk wax that I just feeling all the same feelings. Like I can't keep track of these basketball sets coming out. They're falling out of the woodwork, and I just, even though I love basketball and I follow it, I just have not really engaged with modern basketball.
I love it. Do you have a Grail card? Is your Grail card a first edition Charizard PSA 10? Or
no, it's not. I think my Grail, I do a lot of soccer as well. I would say my two Grail cards would be the 48 leaf Jackie Robinson, like Nate said, I believe it was Nate. And then my other one would be an early graded Pele card.
Cage just sold an early graded. It looked like a Polaroid picture card, didn't it, Cage?
Yeah, the Alifa Balogue, you call it the alphabet card.
Yep.
I had one of those, the
Nice.
Pele's. I sold it. I'll regret selling that, but I already forget what I used the money to buy. I bought something else.
You can't keep them all.
You can't keep them all, exactly.
Travis, just in a Twitter argument over that card.
And it's funny because I'm hearing the 48 leaf a lot more now as a Grail card, the 48 leaf Jackie Robinson. I'm curious where that comes from, but we'll get into that. It's okay.
That whole set is beautiful. That is just an incredible design. I've got a Joe Louis from 48 leaf, and it was so relatively inexpensive, and it is just one of my favorite cards to look at.
Yeah, the 48 leaf boxing is cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is my Grail card, by the way. Andrew didn't ask me, but my Grail card is actually a 48 leaf as well. But I'm going to leave out who the player is. Maybe you guys will guess it. If anybody guesses it one day, I'll let you know which it is. But it is a 48 leaf, and it's probably not one that you guys would guess. But my question for you is basketball, because I don't want to leave it just as you're not getting into it. I mean, you can be Dragon Ball Z, you name it. My question for you is, would you maybe pick one release a year for basketball and try to dip your toes in basketball? Like whether it's Prism or Optic or Select or something like that. Because I'm with you. I think you get a little bit of fatigue with all these releases. Like 1-in-1 comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, what's Panini doing? They're going to just stress us all out. There's going to be too many releases.
I like prospecting, and I've always done that. So I have, I included in the chat, I was a Taylor Horton Tucker guy for a long time, and, from the start, because I'm a Lakers guy. And of course, I'm sure the prices are back where I bought it, since he's not getting playing time, which I kind of knew would happen. But I'll pick out like a Keldon Johnson and a Taylor Horton Tucker just to kind of stay engaged with it. I hate Prism in general. I just think it's the worst design in the world. And I would take a Select or a Revolution or almost any other release all day over Prism. So I know that's the card to have and to flip and to invest in, but I just can't bring myself to pay a lot of money for a card that I hate looking at. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'll pick out some select cards that I like, and I do stay in it a little bit. But yeah, I just can't follow all the basketball and stay super engaged with it.
Love it. Can you say Happy New Year to Luka Nation?
Yeah, Happy New Year, Luka Nation.
And guys, I know I have like these few questions, but feel free to take it any direction that you want. We all have different stories in the hobby, so these are just kind of like frameworks. Take it any direction you want. John Moeller, you mind if I call on you?
Yeah, that's cool.
What's up, John? How you doing, brother?
I have a question for John. John, smile. There we go.
John's wearing a Lions shirt. John's getting a lot of respect in here already.
Yeah.
Jordan, does it upset you when I say Matthew Stafford, the Hall of Fame quarterback? Does it like needle you a little bit when I kind of make fun of Stafford?
No, because I know it's true. I think we both know it's true.
Yeah, I mean it's
well, and
true.
Ryan knows it's true too. The Card Talk guys know it's true.
You know what?
They're the lovable losers.
One thing Matthew Stafford doesn't get credit for is he was throwing those Patrick Mahomes passes, the no-look ones, before Patty Mahomes. Am I wrong?
It's true. It's true.
All right, silence across the board, no big deal.
I don't know. No one really watches them. Unless you're a Lions fan, no one's really paying attention to Matthew Stafford. That's the problem.
Aaron Rodgers, actually, he goes on the Pat McAfee show every week, and he was talking about that, how there's a couple guys in the league who've been throwing him way before Patrick Mahomes and never got any credit. He said Stafford first. He said he's definitely had a couple. There's one other guy you mentioned too, so it's definitely like Mahomes gets all the hype, but there's a couple other guys out there who've been doing that for a long time.
I hate Mahomes.
For you, Cage. For
I hate
Mahomes argument. That's
I hate him.
Favorite podcast memory of the year? What was your favorite card pickup of the year?
Favorite card pickup, I picked up an Acuna Bowman First Mojo. That's probably my favorite one. And favorite memory, I just recently started listening, so I had sent a question in about Acuna, Tatis, and Soto a while back, a couple weeks ago, and that ended up getting answered, so I thought that was kind of fun.
Remind us the question just so we could kind of revisit it here for a few seconds.
It was just who was the better long-term investment or player to, I guess, look at.
Hey, do you want to take a shot at that? Mine's Tatis, easy.
Ian says hi.
What's up,
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Ian?
Just woke up, pal? All right, go ahead with that. Listen, you know me. I love Tatis. And, anybody who's paying attention to baseball sees that, the baseball stuff's already starting to pick up.
Yep.
So a nice little tip here for Luka Nation, right? I mean, everybody wants to tell you buy in the off season, right? And then you can sell it beforehand, the whole deal. Well, there's another little fun tip, which is if everyone's doing it, you got to get ahead of them, right? We started talking about this in these episodes, right? So Tatis, that rookie card was $150 2-3 weeks ago. I think I saw auctions ending over 200 already. So, this is no one's looking at it because basketball just started. So now, you got to get in on the off-season hype even earlier now, right? Because the cycles, if everyone's aware that that's the cycle, then no one's aware that that's the cycle. That's kind of the way that it works, right? So, if you're planning on jumping in on baseball in the off-season, the window is about to close if it's not already closing, believe it or not, now. February, you're going to start to hear, pitchers and catchers reporting and that kind of stuff. But it's almost to a point where it's too late. The run-up's already starting. So that's one little tip. Two, on these guys, I was all Tatis. But I watched a lot of baseball last year because, there's nothing else to do. Acuna is really good. His prices came down a little bit, because he didn't start off well. But you got to look at the way he ended the season. It wasn't really a full season, right? 60 games. And he was on a hot streak there at the end and started hitting a bunch of home runs. I think he is a legit 40-40 candidate in a full season. The only thing is I don't know when we're going to have a full season.
Yeah.
And that really hurts, these baseball players. Not only is the game not, the game's not fun like basketball. It's not short. It's not clippable. But the compiling stats that we use as, comparing the greatness of these players, it's a 40-40 season. How many home runs did they hit in a season? Was someone able to bat 400 for the season? They're all like season stats. Whereas in basketball, we talk about this, right? It's can somebody average a triple double, or is somebody averaging 30 points a game? It's not a season counting stat. Nobody cares if somebody scored 3,000 points in a year, right? So baseball, I think that even hurts them even more because, if in a third of a season, Acuna is a third of the way to 40-40, no one's going to say, hey, he's 40-40. They're just going to say he was 13-13, and it's not going to have the same weight, So I like all of those guys for investment purposes. I would invest in all of them, and I have been investing in all of them. I think Tatis is the one that's going to transcend a little bit because he's just fun. You know what I mean? He plays a middle infield position, so that's one key thing on him also. And two, people are putting him on magazine covers. People are making articles about him. So that's the one I would put my money in. Andrew, I know you're on the Tatis boat also, but
He's swaggy. What's your grail card, John? Whether you own it or you're chasing it.
You said my grail card?
Yes, sir.
It'd have to be Jordan rookie. I've always been a big Jordan fan, so that's one that's kind of out of reach at the moment. But
love it. Can you say Happy New Year to Luka Nation?
Happy New Year, Luka Nation.
Andrew's got a school photographer vibe going on right now. Like, hey, face to left, face to right, pose
I take direction really well, by the way. Girls like hearing that too, but I take direction really well. And Jordan said, do it this way. So I want to do a good product. I want to release a good product for our community, Cage. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Connor, thank you for joining us, brother. Happy New Year.
Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year.
Where are you at right now? Where are we finding you?
I'm up here in Dryden, Ontario in Canada, just east of Winnipeg.
Jordan, want to say a few words?
Stone's throw away.
Oh, hey, I just logged on. Where are you from?
I'm in Winnipeg.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm a 4-hour drive from you.
Yeah,
Right
stone's
on.
throw.
Cool.
That's it. All right, so I'm gonna leave. Let you guys film the Labatt Blue commercial, and you guys do your thing, and I'll come back in a couple minutes. I love the Gretzky jersey, man. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
You know what's interesting about Gretzky? I saw this there. So Patrick Bet-David sold the Topps card, right, just last month. And Gretzky is the one player across every sport that's just unanimously the GOAT, right? Like there's no one that's even in his category. And yet he played for 5 different teams. And that kind of blows my mind. Like that was past my time, so I didn't get to watch him. But I can't imagine a team giving up the best player ever and let that happen 4 times. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. When I was born in the 1980s, so I grew up watching that Oilers dynasty, and it was heartbreaking watching him get traded to LA. And yeah.
What's your favorite podcast memory of this year, or a favorite card you might have picked up this year?
You asking me?
Yep, of course.
I just picked up 2 days ago a Gretzky rookie. Now, it's a raw Gretzky rookie, so I'm gonna get it graded. But yeah, we'll see how that thing turns out once I get my hands on it. So it was just like 3 days ago I bought that.
The collective silence of the group, I think, is, if I could summarize, is good luck. We're praying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that I'm assuming that's your Grail card too, right?
Oh yeah. That or a Jordan. I grew up loving Jordan too. So, but that one's a little more less attainable.
I'm not gonna say who sent it, but in last month's Luka submission, we got a Gretzky rookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
We did. We got. I was like, wow, look at this. Like this stands out amongst the Keldon Johnson prisms. No offense, Travis. You know, what I mean? this doesn't look like.
My Keldon Johnsons aren't even prisms.
That's funny. Well, listen, good luck with it. I hope it grades well. But I mean, you know, what the funny part about it is when you get a grail like that, there's really, I mean, obviously it matters. You want the card to grade as well as you can, but that's a cool accomplishment, man. You're picking up a card that you wanted for a long time. So that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty stoked.
Thanks, brother. Can you say Happy New Year to Luka Nation?
Happy New Year, Luka Nation.
What's up?
Yes.
That last. What's going on, brother? Where you at?
Hey, what's up, boys? So do you want me to tell you everything? Like start at the beginning, 4th grade, when I stole my uncle's wig and put it in my face for the school play?
My uncle's toupee, and I used it as when I played Moses in my Hebrew school play.
Andrew has no idea what we're talking about once again.
And I threw it over the side and I made noises like this.
Andrew left. You scared him away.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I want to play violin one day. Where did Andrew go? You know why? Because we had him watch that movie. He legit watched the first scene. He watched the first
Googling
scene.
IMDb movie quotes 80s, trying to figure out what movie it's from.
He really left. Look at this guy. You got to be careful walking around the jungle there where he is. You know, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of people out to get him. Well,
assassins at the door.
Him. Yeah, we were recording this week, and somebody knocked on the door. I get a little afraid for him. Where did he go? What the hell is that? He gets so butthurt.
Just disappeared.
He gets so upset. Jordan, can we just kick him out?
Hey, well, Andrew's gone for a moment. Drake, do you have someone to say hello there?
I do. So this is my 4-year-old. Her name is Anna Kate. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hey,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy
New Year.
Thanks, Corey.
Does she collect? Get her into collecting?
Yeah, so she actually, Corey actually sent her first cards, some women's wrestling cards, because she saw some of the wrestling cards that I had, and she asked if there were any women wrestler cards because she saw them on there, and so he actually sent her some wrestling cards. So that's kind of her first cards that she has.
There you go. Got to start them young.
That's right.
Women's wrestling. I think there's a release coming out. It keeps getting pushed back, but I'm pretty sure it's I don't know if it's a Finest or a Chrome or something like that, a Topps women wrestling thing. My LCS got me to reserve a case of them for him because nobody else buys wrestling from him. I think I reserved it in February, and he messaged me every month, and he's like, it's being pushed back. I'm like, all right, whenever it comes in, just let me know what I owe you. So that stuff's that's hot too. I mean, everything wrestling's hot. Everything wrestling's crazy.
Big time.
Yamwax. I know you go by Yamwax on Instagram, but could you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, hey guys, Yam, aka Yamwax, aka Corey. I just go by Yam in the hobby though. I'm from Minneapolis area, so I cheer for my woeful Minnesota Timberwolves year after year, which makes me a fan of the broader NBA at large, because I got to admit, sometimes we go to watch the opposing team when I go to the games, but we try to stay warm up here.
Okay. You have a favorite podcast memory or card of the year? I know you're more of you tell me. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, favorite podcast memory, man. I'm into a lot of different types of cards. It's so hard to choose. I gotta say, sometimes I just wish that I'd check out the podcast on the weekend and look to see if you guys took a day off for once. But you just keep pumping them out every day. It's impressive what you guys did this year. So serious kudos. But man, there's so many. You think about the great hangs with Lefko was on and Stacking Slabs. I just want to turn that on and chill and listen to you guys have a great time. It's just a great time when those guys are on. Other people are so dense with information, like Chris Hodge and Josh and from Cardboard Chronicles, Nick Perro, Jeremy. I just love it all. But when I kind of look to see what influenced actual pickups this year, other than you guys with your picks every day, of course, but also just Bro Namath was a really cool guest, and he had some great inspiration for me. And he's someone in the Luka community and someone I talked to, but he had talked about hockey cards, and I had just started getting into hockey, looking into it. I collect greats in general, goats and stuff. So I already had a Gretzky, but just in a 4 to have one. But then he showed off an Exquisite RPA, and I just thought it was so cool that Exquisite still makes RPAs for hockey. And so I picked up a Cale Makar, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, and I happened to started PCing Nathan McKinnon. So Here's a jambalaya that I picked up. But I just love that exquisite that Bro Namath showed off and got into that. And as you guys know, I get into a lot of kind of esoteric, interesting, weird cards and stuff too. So Travis and I have kind of bonded over various types of cards. This is a 98 Dragon Ball Z gold card, which are just super cool. And I've started going down that path a little bit. Travis is the one that gave me the kick in the pants to really get after it. But Bro Namath initially inspired it. And then looking into things like Yu-Gi-Oh! I picked up 1998 Bandai Yu-Gi-Oh! The first ever Blue Eyes White Dragon. And it's been fun going back and forth with Bro Namath on hockey, weird, interesting cards. I was already into Pokemon, so we vibed over a lot of that stuff. And he's been really inspirational to some of these fun pickups in my PC.
But what's one card that you want to add to your collection? What's your Grail card? Not one you own right now, because you do have a top 1% collection out there. What's one you'd love to add?
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, so card I would love to add to my collection. It's one that I probably, it's you've got to have your pinnacle cards that you go after. I do have a 1948 Bowman George Mikan, and this is the no red ink variation, an error print that's only a pop 13. And I love having that card because you think of like Luka and his 15,000 rated, just base prisms, and this is a pop 13. Well, there's one even better than this that I'd love to have someday. If I'm, my business really goes crazy and I'm a multimillionaire and can compete with the Gary V, who is also after this card. It's the one PSA 10 George Mikan from 1948. There's only one in the world. It's kind of like the Gretzky where there's only two and it's going nuts. It last sold 5 years ago and we don't know if we'll ever see it again, but if it does come up, it's good to, have goals in life to, like you, Andrew, I know you're motivated to win, and I'm motivated to win in the business that I run. So someday I could potentially chase that card, but that's years down the road. And so I actually hope that card doesn't surface for another decade so I can get in pole position and actually be able to have a shot at it.
I love it.
I love it too, because listen, Yam he is epitomizing what Andrew talks about. Now I'm old. I'm looking at this room. I'm the old man in the room. And I'll tell you, because you're not asking me, but I'll tell you, one of the greatest things that happened in 2020 was I got a mindset change from this lunatic here who's in an undisclosed bunker, because we can't be in the same place. We can't fly in Air Force One together because, we promise daily stuff. So something happens to me, he can go on. It's fun stuff. But here's the mindset change, right? Yeah, what you're talking about, there's no reason why it can't happen. No reason why it can't happen. That business, whatever it may be, it's going to take off. You put that positive out there, you think like that, and, you work hard, it's going to actually happen. This lunatic came to me and said, all right, we're going to have a podcast and we're going to do it, and people are going to listen and we're going to provide value and the community is going to grow. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be like my cousin Larry, my third grade teacher who had a crush on me, and like 4 other people, in some basement somewhere listening. And I was wrong. He was right. And, so yeah, I love hearing that. Don't give up on that, Mike. And if I can help you, if you're a couple $1,000s shy of the whole position, let me know. I'll kick in, I'll help you get there. But I mean, yeah, man, that's
I love it, Gage.
That's the biggest change for me this year. This lunatic actually has me, thinking positive, which it's been a long time. So I hope that also happens to a bunch of you guys. And that's part of the reason why you chime in, why you listen to us on a daily, because, it's nice to be positive every now and again.
Right. And I'm blushing a little bit. I don't know if you guys see it. Like, a big thing about what we do, and I think our community as well, I missed touching on this in the beginning, but you guys help each other out too. And like everyone here that I've met leads with value. My first interaction with Yam was when we announced that we're having Gary V on our episode, and Yam reached out and asked, how can I help you guys? This is just a perfect stranger I've never met. How can I serve, or how can I help you? And I think positivity and service does lead to good things. So I wish you nothing but success. But that's an unbelievable thing that with this community, I feel like all of you guys interact with each other and look to help each other. Like I've learned more from you guys in the chats and Bro Namath and Yam and Drake and so many more. And I love that. I hope we continue that into 2021.
Yeah, so many of us, I mean, these cards are awesome and it's great to have fun, cool cards. But if what we're going to take with us are the relationships and the connections that we make as humans. And that's what it's all about, man. So I appreciate this whole community that you guys have built. It's really impressive.
That's a 181 PSA what? The Babe Ruth, yeah.
That's a PSA 3.
I
So,
love it. That's a nice
low
card.
grade, but in
I like
in
that
that
one.
kind of vintage era, a 3 is pretty decent.
That's
181.
awesome.
Now he's got to say Happy New Year, Luka Nation.
I have a question for the group. This is for you, Cage, but for the group. Like, you see
Yeah,
that
but-
Babe Ruth? That was just 1 second. That was perfectly centered in the PSA holder. But sometimes with stickers, they just put them in like a normal holder and they're bouncing around. Why do
Right.
they do that? Does anyone know?
I don't think they have a holder yet for stickers. You know, I mean, stickers come in all different sizes. So, you know, if you notice when they grade things, they have like a jumbo holder and a regular holder, and 99% of cards fit in the regular holder that they have. But anything that's small, they put in like it's almost like a baggie. So believe it or not, like it was one of the scarier things about the Pele card that I had. And this is one of those buy the card, not the holder. But the Pele card that I sold, it moved in the slab. Like it moved around. It was in like, you know, like a little like plastic kind of thing, but it wasn't like in tight like a normal card would be. So like, you know, if I took it out of the case, I was looking at it, take pictures of it, you can actually see the card move inside the slab, which means that card could get damaged. You know what I mean? And the card's 70 years old almost, right? And, you know, depending upon what, you know, shipping or whatever it is, I mean, even though it's in a slab, it can get bounced around the corner and get rubbed and the whole deal. So stickers are the same kind of thing, Andrew. You know, if it's not a uniform size, they don't have, you know, they can't create a holder for each one. Their holder is their holder.
Paige, I picked up a couple of these. The Jordan 1990 Panini sticker. That's his first North American sticker. And this one is nicely set. But then my second one is off. And I'm sure if I shake it around, it might resettle. But that's just how they are. They just kind of float around in there.
That's one of the reasons why, like, I see a lot of people also store like some of their cards sometimes, like rather than grading it, just putting them in the one touches, and like they move around just enough to where like they always have whitening issues. Like anybody who's selling a card in a one touch, like I'm gonna say like 90% of the time, you'll see some whitening on the borders or in the corners, and it's just like you'd think they would come up with something to where like we can get it to where it's just not gonna move, but I guess it's hard to do that.
If I'm breaking, I have a penny sleeve and a semi-rigid, you know, a card saver 1.
Yep.
That's what I do. Even if I'm not sending it to grading, that's the way to keep it as safe as you can. Or a penny sleeve and a top loader.
That's what I started. I got I didn't know what to ask for Christmas. Like, you know, when parents ask you what you want, and when you get older, you just kind of you just give them some random things that you think could be useful. So I was like, I'll take penny sleeves and card saver 1. So she would take like a couple boxes of each, and it was perfect.
Did I do a New Year's shout out?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So to Cage, Andrew, and all of Luka Nation, Happy New Year, and here's to another awesome year in 21.
Cheers.
Salute. Is that a 2-liter, Cage?
It is 2-liter Coke Zero. Here we go. We're getting there.
Cage is going crazy.
Ready to go. Let's go.
New Year's.
He buys whichever one's cheaper or on sale at the store.
That's true.
Pepsi or Coke. Unbelievable.
Hey guys, if I got to sign off, but I wanted to say to Andrew and Cage, you know, you guys were talking about thinking maybe you'd have 5 listeners as you got started, and you're shocked at how this all went down. You guys could not do this individually. Like the two of you working together, it works so well. Like you guys are both great, but the combination is really an exponential product. So somehow you two found each other, and just listening to you two guys go back and forth, it works so well. And the personalities just, even though they're different personalities, it is so smooth. So congratulations to you guys. And I've appreciated all the listens on the way back and forth from work, and Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks, Travis. We love you, man.
All right. Take care.
Peace out, Travis.
I don't know for everyone else.
See you, buddy.
Today, it wasn't an easy time in my life. And what I asked for, you know, like they say, put things out into the universe, whatever, is I really wanted mentorship. I wanted someone, like I knew I had some skills and I knew I could put them together, but I wanted someone to learn from. And I got a chance to work for Gary. I worked for him. I learned, but I put it out to the universe. And it's so funny how you get what you want, but not exactly how you expected it. And it's funny that I partnered with Cage because he is my co-host, but in a lot of ways, he is my mentor and he helps me. And I've learned so much from him. So I appreciate that, Travis. I know he had to jump off, but It's funny how it worked out. It really is. Let's keep moving. Detlef, I wanted to call on you for a while. You know Detlef Schrempf, the Supersonics basketball player from Parks and
Yes. It's a throwback, but I've heard the name.
Yes, sir. Mike, where are you at in the country?
I am just outside Raleigh, North Carolina, over in Apex. So big Hurricanes fan, big Panthers fan, Charlotte Hornets fan.
Woo! Yeah.
Mellow Ball looking like he can shoot a little bit. Exciting times over here.
LaMelo's better than Terry Rozier. I said it. What's your favorite podcast memory of the year or favorite card pickup of the year?
So I'll answer both. First, favorite podcast memory definitely goes back to some of the OG episodes. First time you guys had Rips cards on. I think I've got to be the only one in the group who can't drink tonight. Not 21 yet. So to hear another guy come on who's around my age, who's done so much in the hobby, I mean, exponential crazy things, was just really cool to see, really cool to kind of hear his story and just kind of give me confidence that like nothing is off the table for me. You know, like people my age can make big moves in this hobby. And then I also think the episode with Wharf sports cards, especially him talking about the percentages he looks at when just flipping cards, when it's time to hold, when it's time to sell, and how he just kind of uses this percentage mechanism to kind of keep himself on track. I really liked that as well.
Love it. You're absolutely right. And beginners, like coming in as a beginner and having a fresh look on things is actually as much a benefit, right? Because like you don't have all those scars or misses.
Right.
So I would do nothing but success. It'd be cool if you connected with Rips. He's probably the more accessible people in the hobby, which is really cool because you have all that success at a young age that could go to someone's head. And it was cool to see Cage, and touch on this if you want. Like he's super humble for all the success he's had.
Yep.
Cage,
I love Rips. I love Rips. He's amazing. That's one of my favorite things to get on because I mean, you guys, you know, you don't see the video and the whole deal, but I mean, Andrew and I had been talking to Rips for the better part of a year in a group, and we don't have the Zoom. You don't know who you're talking to, right? You have no idea, and that was one of the better things for me to have happen in the hobby to me because you know we're behind screen names, right? You don't know who you're dealing with. You know, you don't know what the story is, and unfortunately for him, he gets a lot of crap. You know, your dad buys you these cards and that kind of stuff, which is just, I mean, that's a bunch of baloney, right? And that's not good too, because look, I'll make a joke out of it. I tell Andrew all the time, I believe the children are our future, right? So, you know, like, you know, I mean, it really is, right? You know, there's a reason why I open cards with Ian. You know, you guys are going to carry this hobby. If I want my cards to be worth something in 10 or 15 years, it's because you guys are staying in and not being insulted by other idiots and being told, you know, you can't do this. Just a quick pause. Naderade, if you got to jump off, go for it, my friend. We appreciate it. Happy New Year. We thank you for jumping on, man. Thank you.
Hey, take care, guys.
All right. Take care. So, I mean, Rips was great because when we jumped on that Zoom with him, I was like, oh my God. Like I could be this kid's grandfather, you know, like I was like, wow, this is because I've seen the cards he has and I've seen the moves he made. And also what was even better was, I mean, I'm a lawyer, right? I made trades with him. I made deals with him. And he was like I don't want to be in a courtroom against him. You know what I mean? And yet, you know, he's negotiating the stuff and then he gets on and I'm like, get the hell out of here. But you know, so to me, that was a real lesson learned, right? Because he's making moves, you know, that it's not an old man's game or a young man's game. Anybody can do this. That's the first thing that I learned, you know? I mean, anybody can do this. You know, it's more of if you immerse yourself in this stuff and you spend the time and you educate yourself, you know, it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80, right? So that was a great episode for me because I'm just what an impressive kid. And I like to make fun like he's taking Giannis to the prom, but I mean, you know, he might make that happen. You know, I mean,
he might.
Your card pickup of the year.
All right, so I got to go with this one, and it's hilarious because it is Giannis. It's a immaculate rookie patch to 50.
Gorgeous patch.
Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely amazing card. And so this is my pickup of the year.
Is that his jersey? Is that the jersey right there?
Yeah,
that's sick.
So this is my pickup of the year because this was back like in March. I was at a card show, saw this card out, had like $1,000 sticker on it. This is right when like the bull market was just taking off. Everything was going crazy on prices. And I remember seeing this card and being like, that is sick. And then sitting there realizing I had the firepower in the box I was carrying around like to trade for. And that was like massive for me. This was by far the biggest card I'd ever picked up. And to sit there and realize that like I had, I had some stuff just come back from grading. I think I had a Zion PSA 10 in there. I had a Giannis Prism that I picked up for like $300 a couple months before, a couple other things. And so like I made a deal for it with a big time vendor was at the show, someone I never thought I'd make a deal with just because of all the high end stuff he had. And so I think that was just like, kind of on a smaller scale than what Rips was doing, but just like me realizing again, like I can make a deal for whatever I want, really, kind of starting to unlock that. I feel like I can go get anything.
I appreciate that. I had that same feeling this year, and it's cool when you like dream of something, you work for it, and then it works out and you have the evidence, right?
Yeah.
Evidence is so important because when you see like, hey, I put in all this hard work, I was disciplined, I made the right moves, and now it pays off.
Yep.
Gives you life momentum. And I think that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I mean, this card was an absolute fire starter for this year. I mean, if I look at, I remember last year just before the season started, so before COVID and everything, I remember picking up a Giannis Hoops PSA 10 for like $100. And that was like the first time I'd ever spent $100 on a single card. And then like 5 months later, I'm making a deal for a card that's got $1,000 price tag on it. And that just shot off this year, and my collection's gone crazy ever since.
What would be your next Grail card? What's your next big pickup? What's a card you're looking at now?
So I'll be honest, I just picked it up. I don't have another one in mind, but I got to show another card now because I just picked this up less than a month ago. It's the LeBron Chalk Toss Refractor.
Nice.
From 0809 Chrome. This was the first card I ever actually spent over $1,000 cash on. I didn't trade for this. I bought it. And that was a card I've been looking at for most of the year with LeBron going crazy. At first I was looking at the bases and I realized I'm like, I don't want a base. I want a refractor. And they don't pop up all that much. I missed out on a couple bids that went down and finally was able to pull off a deal for this one not that long ago. Going to send it to PSA soon. I think it'll probably 8. I'm praying that it 9s because that's a pretty big difference. Either way, I'm going to be thrilled because that was one I was after all year.
I got to ask, why PSA then? If you think it could 8, you don't think it could BGS 995?
I like PSA better.
The centering looks really good on that thing.
Center, the only thing, it's got some surface scratches. The rest of it looks really clean. So, I don't know. I like PSA better, so I'm going to try PSA. I could always crack it. I've done that before.
I love it. Well, congrats, brother.
I got one more.
You know what I'm
too.
Show it.
I got one more. I'm loving this. So, I've been collecting for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years now. Got into it seriously, realized I can make money probably about 2 years ago. But Adrian Peterson's been my guy since like the beginning, since I was just collecting for fun. I started watching him in 2012 when he had that crazy MVP year. That was the first year I ever played fantasy football. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had Adrian Peterson on my team and I watched every one of his games that year. So this year, I ended up flipping a lot of Adrian Peterson stuff, a lot of lower end stuff. And I picked up this. It's the National Treasures RPA. To 99. This was a card, these types of cards, these big RPAs I always looked at when I was younger and just like, dreamed one day I'll own a card like that. I don't know how, but one day I'll own a card like that. And to be able to flip a bunch of the stuff that I had just into this card was super cool. This wasn't about the investment. This wasn't about I'm going to make money on it. This is a card I'll keep forever and a card that I'll always have. Like just that nostalgia tied to. So that wasn't on the, like the investing side. That was just purely for
I love it though. I love it. You gotta have both of them, right? So number one, what I'm thinking back to is Andrew's snowball episode, right? Where you're trying to turn a little bit into a bigger one, a little bit into a little bit more. And here you are, the beginning of the year, you got some raw cards, $100 here, $100 there. You sent them in for grading, you turned it into a Zion, and you turned it into a Giannis, and then you're buying cards or you're trading them for $1,000 card. And, you're same thing even with the AP, even though that's a collectible card, right? You're turning your smaller Adrian Peterson stuff and consolidating them into a bigger piece for your own personal collection. Yep. I love it. I mean, to me, that's what this year has been all about for a lot of collectors. So great seeing that stuff. And I mean, what's funny about it is, right? So you show those cards, it's a huge smile. You know what I mean? Like that's the best part. You're sorry, someone was calling me there. So, I mean, you show your AP, like, I love AP, or look at this, the chalk toss. I mean, like, that's why when people ask me, hey, is it a bubble? Am I concerned about the hobby, the whole deal? My answer is no, because, people like you, when you're showing that card up, this is like, oh, look what I got, like this is, and it's an accomplishment and you work towards it. And, so I love it. I love everything you just said. I wish I could hear more stories for like an hour. What do you got next, Andrew?
Mike, can you wish our Luka Nation happy New Year?
Yep. Luka Nation, Cage, Andrew, want to wish you guys a happy New Year and best of luck to everyone with all the pickups in 2021.
Thanks, brother. Plant Street. This is the same thing as with Rips. So when Rips was coming onto our guest episode, I didn't even know his name was Adam. I only knew him as Rips Cards. So Plant Street, can you introduce yourself? Let us know where you're from.
Yes. How's it going? My name is Victor. And I'm here from Orlando, Florida, born and raised here. And actually was ticket sales executive with the Magic for over 6 years. So it was like living my dream job, working for the Magic and getting kids on the court to high five the players and doing all that. And, I felt like I was kind of getting burnt out working there. And I ended up working out. I ended up getting actually laid off in July. I guess they're doing better now. They're undefeated now. But I feel like I'm doing better too. I feel like, I've been listening to your podcast literally every day. What's up? Look at that mug. Look at that mug.
Yeah, I will drink my soda out of here. It's coffee with Cage and my Coke Zero out of the Plant Street mug. I love it.
Awesome. So I feel like, it was tough, I love working with the Magic. It was, the team that I grew up watching since I was like, a little kid. But I do know that there's, things that happen in life and that there's better things ahead. And I think, listening to your podcast has really brought a lot of positivity, in my life and getting back into the hobby. This hobby has been so amazing. Back when I was 13 years old, my parents are going through a divorce and the hobby was what made me happy, with this year getting laid off and now really getting back into the hobby. I was in it before I got laid off, but let me just tell you that this podcast has been amazing. Listening to the great feedback that you guys bring on every episode and everything has been a lot of fun. And, I've collected since I was a small kid opening like UD Ionics from like the 2000, like early, like late 1990s to early 2000s. And, and I remember growing up and seeing like the exquisite boxes were $500. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. Maybe one day, I can afford something like that. And working with the Magic was a blessing because I was able to maybe buy some cards and then I wasn't able to buy before. So I first wanted.
The cool thing about the groups is we talk sports cards in there, but I've seen conversations about life, about business, about ideas. That's what the community I think is about, man. So I think there's tons of people there that you could bounce ideas off of, and that would be more than willing to help you too.
Yeah, thank you. And I would say the biggest things that I learned from you and Cages here, I think the biggest thing I would say was that you said was building systems. I think that's even though Cage made fun of you for that.
You guys
just a little.
A portion of it. You should have seen the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. Oh, he has a system for eating pancakes.
I don't eat them.
I do. I like pancakes.
But I think, I've been focusing over the last 2 months, sending about like between 75 to 100 cards to PSA, every week. Even though that's generated a new backlog now, I think that's something that the snowball effect is going to happen in a year from now, whenever those cards come back. But I think doing that, and it's one of the biggest things I learned from Andrew this year, is developing that system that's going to help you be successful. And from Cage, I think my favorite thing was the Carl Lewis play. I feel like that really opened my mind to to how awesome Cage is at making plays and really being on the forefront of what's ahead. And I think that the guest episodes that having the different mindsets that come into these episodes has been amazing. I think Yamwax is an amazing person to listen to because he always is buying something new, like wrestling, you name it, like all these different cards and ideas that that I get each, and it's crazy. You could be at the forefront of what's next in the hobby, and I think that's what's great about your podcast. You can always get these guests, and you always can get a little step ahead of where the hobby's going.
I love that. Wow. Cage, you didn't get enough credit for that Kyle Lewis play. I got to be honest. That was like an OG, maybe episode number 3 type of play, but you were spot on. What's your favorite pickup of the year, Victor?
So for me, I know that when I was a kid, I would see LeBron cards, and I couldn't afford one. So for me, really getting re-energized with the hobby again this year, and now basically doing sports cards like full time now. I knew that the Zion card would be my dream card, and I went ahead and did a lot of buying and selling, and was able to get this one. My couldn't get the of 99, but I had to get the Zion NT horizontal out of 75 with a nice chunky patch. So that I would say is
that's no joke.
My Grail card.
That's a big card.
Wow, that's nice.
That's a big
card. Thank you.
Don't let Ken Golden see that. He's going to be in your DMs all day.
But yeah, so I want to hold on to that one for a long time, and hopefully that it'll be a card that will be hopefully 100K one day, and that can be like that's basically my 401K. Hopefully that it goes up and he can be healthy.
I love it. Well, so you have a Grail, but if there's a vintage Grail, for example, a 1980s, 1970s, 1990s, or maybe there's a modern day Grail. What's a Grail card that you want to add to your collection?
So I would say like a LeBron 9.5 rookie autograph. I think LeBron. I think once it's all said and done, he could very well end up being the GOAT of basketball for his longevity, coming from high school all the way to playing until he's 36, 37, 30. I mean, you name it. I don't see that there's going to be another player that's ever going to do what he did. And I think I actually had one, but I ended up just selling it because things are tough, but I do know down the road, once I get a job again in sports and in sales, I would definitely like to get like a major LeBron rookie autograph. I think that would be, the card to have, leading down the road for sure.
Victor, you want to wish Luka Nation a Happy New Year?
Happy New Year, Luka Nation. And thank you so much, Andrew and Cage, for bringing fantastic content on the daily. It's been a true pleasure to listen and hope to be a part of this into the future as well.
Plant Street. We love it. Plant Street.
Love you guys.
I'm sure I speak for the people on this call and our community. We wish you nothing but success. In 2021, we wish you that great things happen for you, Victor.
Thank you. You too.
Jared. You go by Jay or Jared?
I go by Jared.
Jared, you're in New York, right?
Yeah, I live out on Long Island in Suffolk County.
All right. Well, it's good to have you. I think you and Cage have met up before, right?
I've met Jared more times than I've met you.
Yeah, I've met up with him, I don't want to jump ahead, but I would say, I guess I'll save it for my favorite moment of the podcast to get a little more into that.
I love your backdrop because you have all the things that I kind of love here. You have Derek Jeter, Kobe, and then you have a Banksy painting behind you. It covers all
Barry Judge, and then that Kobe piece my mom and my sister actually made for me. They bought like the photos individually and then just I don't know if they glued them and then framed them, and it came out really good. I was taken aback by it. It was a great gift.
Appreciate you. We're taken aback by your support. Do you have, a favorite card pickup or a favorite moment in the podcast or the hobby this year?
To go with the favorite moment in the for the podcast would have to be, I would say, meeting up with Cage. I mean, when I started listening to you guys, I had saw a post that Gary had posted, and I follow him on my personal account. And I just to get out of the house while working from home, I would just go for walks on my break, and I'd throw on the podcast. And I had just gotten back into cards, so it was really cool to kind of go from finding the podcast kind of at random, and I'm lucky that I did, and then to actually get to meet the person behind the podcast, and now this, it's like it all comes full circle. It's really cool.
He's a pretty great dude, right?
He's great, and me and him
he's better in real life than he even is on camera.
I mean, we were out there one of the days. It was, I mean, it had to have been like 40 degrees, and we were still just standing out there talking, and I was shivering. And he's like, "All right, maybe we should go. Well, we'll do this when it's a little warmer." But we were out there talking, and it's nice to have people that you can talk to in the hobby. It's one of the things that, like Yam touched on. It's the cards are one thing, and they're great, and obviously we're in it for that. But the things like this and the community and the hobby, it's a lot of fun. And I guess to say for my favorite pickup, which it's hard to say, but I would probably say I picked up a 2008 Topps Kobe card, which is the one where LeBron is guarding him and he's backing him down. And I was able to pick it up I bought it for like $100, I think. And I sent it in to get graded, and I don't think it'll 10, maybe an 8, maybe, a 7. It had some surface damage, but I think that's an iconic card. And, we didn't get to see them face off in the finals. So it's just kind of like it makes you think, what if?
Hey, you want to touch on this? So what's cool about that 2008 card is, and you've talked about this with baseball, but there's a Topps and a Topps Chrome, right?
Yep.
Chrome, I think, is actually easier to gem than those Topps cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I got the regular Topps. I wasn't able to. The Chrome was a little out of my price range when I was looking for it. So this one was actually, this guy owns a vintage clothing store, and he also has like a little like card section because he's into it as well. And one of my friends knows that was a card I was looking for, so he had posted on his Instagram story that it was for sale. I messaged him, and we negotiated, and it was an awesome card to get, and one to see that seems to be going up.
You have a Grail card that you'd love to add to your collection?
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of cards, but if I had to pick one, I mean, it's probably one that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get, is the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle.
Yankee.
Yeah.
Yankees we're a different breed.
You got to go with a big Yankee card. And I mean, one thing that I can actually show, I have it over here, is I had showed it to you guys in the thing, but is that Mickey Mantle card that I found of my dad's that I just couldn't find. And he loved the 1967 set. So sorry, there's some glare. I don't know how else I'm going to be able to get this, but. So this is this 1967 Topps Mantle, and it's in pretty good shape I mean, I've seen them in worse shape and get pretty good grades. So it's one that I'm pretty excited to send in, and one I'll probably keep, forever.
Ian has that mantle. That's the Ian Mantle card. He got it from Uncle Andrew.
That's awesome. It's a great card.
Can you wish Luka Nation a happy New Year?
Andrew, Cage, and everybody that's involved in Luka Nation, I want to wish you a happy New Year and cheers to 2021.
I love it. I think last one, but I think he's obviously Goodfellas. He probably can't be on camera, so he's just going to be on the mic. Giovanni, you with us? There he is. What's up, Giovanni?
What's up, guys?
Can you say hi to Luka Nation, introduce yourself, let us know where you're from?
Hey, what's up, Luka Nation? I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Pretty hated place as far as sports teams go, but I'm a huge Celtics fan. As you guys know, I pump Jason Tatum all the time. Sorry if I'm a little short of breath. I've been running up and down the stairs trying to grab some of my cards.
Who's more valuable to the Celtics team, Tatum or Brown?
I think that Brown, he's just a more aggressive player. He gets to the hoop at will, and he put a clinic on Memphis yesterday. He put on the clinic. It was incredible to see, but it's you want these guys to do that against the best teams, and just to see them do that against Memphis is just like, whatever. But I think Brown is the more valuable player to the team. But I mean, when you need a shot at the end of the game, you want Tatum taking it.
I know you're one of our newer listeners, but right around mid-August, Cage brought us almost someone called an insane play. But
you called it insane. You said it was insane. You definitely did.
He said buy Marcus Smart cards. I'm a big Marcus Smart fan. What do you think of him as in the starting lineup?
I'm not a Marcus Smart fan. A lot of green teamers, we call the diehard Celtics fans, are. They think he's the next like Larry Bird or something, or Danny Ainge. I don't know. But I'm not a Marcus Smart fan. I think he takes too many shots. He needs to accept that he's a role player and just do the things he does well. But a lot of people, like my friends, hate him too. So it's pretty funny. But I like him on like what he brings as far as intensity goes. But he just takes too many shots. When he's hot, But there's that's not often.
Giovanni, what's your favorite podcast memory of the year, and what's your favorite card pickup of the year?
I mean, I'd probably, I would say the Rips episode, just to hear that kid, say that he flipped base cards and he had, the insight or the foresight to kind of see, on the Giannis cards. That was pretty impressive, man, to see a young guy put money into that and then just grow from there. I thought that was awesome. And that got me excited to think that I could do it just with base cards, because that's pretty much how I got into the hobby. Got back into the hobby. I've collected basketball and baseball since I was a kid with my brothers, and my dad is like a hoarder, so he kept them, but it's all junk wax. The best card I probably had was the Bo Jackson, the card with the shoulder pads in the bat. We have that, and have a couple Jordans.
He's going to look like at the end of 2021. 1 year from now, our goal for next year is Cage to be that ripped.
I believe it. He's got it. Just keep switching to the Diet Coke, and he's good. That's all he needs. That Rips episode was pretty awesome, man. That was cool to see and to hear that young kid could just flip base cards and then end up with such an amazing collection. And the big thing is I'm a curious person by nature, so I'm always looking to try to learn or learn more about a subject. And I got out of the hobby for years like everyone else, but last year I got back into it. I went to my first card show, and it just blew my mind. It was awesome. And just talking to people, from all different ages, going to each table and, just making deals. It was like a stock market, but like, you're just talking to people, and that was so much fun. I did that with my brother, and it was a great experience. So that kind of just like got me right into it. And I didn't look back since then. And, I started buying base cards on eBay before the pandemic, and things just took off. Like I bought a couple Lukas for under like 80, graded a few, sold a few, and then I got into breaks. Sorry, I got my little guy back here.
What's his name?
His name is Jace.
What's up, Jace?
Jace, you want to come on? Where are you at? Oh, he's on the stairs.
Are you a Celtics fan too?
Yeah, he's a Tatum fan. We were Kyrie fans until he betrayed us. And I was gonna say I was gonna buy a Kyrie NT RPA. They were pretty cheap recently. They just started going up. I saw one for about $750. I almost pulled the trigger on it, but just the Celtics fan in me was like, I can't buy this card. Yeah. But it would have been a great play, man. By the end of this year, I expect them to maybe be in the finals. That team just looks scary.
I can't remember the last time a player's been as disliked as Kyrie. I think the last time that ran into the stands and just pummeled fans, we hated him. I don't know any player that is as hated as Kyrie.
Yeah, I just think he kind of just he talks like he's the smartest person in the room. And that quote that from Charles Barkley, that was amazing. He's like, you're an artist. You're not an artist. You're a basketball player. You're a great one, but you're not the smartest person of all time. But I like Kyrie. He's fantastic. He's one of the best talents there is. His skill set is incredible, but he just talks too much.
So my take on Kyrie is it's okay to be a heel if you know you're a heel. It works in wrestling, right? And the Detroit Bad Boys, they owned it, right? Bill Laimbeer knew people hated him, and he relished in it. He wanted to be that hated guy. Like, that was the persona. Kyrie, people hate him, but he's not owning it. He thinks, like, I'm just the smart guy, and anybody who's giving me shit, they're just stupid. And I almost wish he would go, like, full heel, like wrestling style.
he backtracks on a lot of things he says too, and I don't like that. If you're gonna say something, stick to your word and just stick to what you believe in. So, and that's one thing for me with Kyrie. I mean, I am a KD fan. People hate him for going to Golden State. I don't. I mean, I get it. You want to win and you want to play at a high level. I got it. I've always been a fan, and people hate me, but KD is the most skilled basketball player in the NBA right now. And if it wasn't for that injury, he'd have another ring. But
so Giovanni,
I don't like LeBron.
Is your Grail card a KD? What's your Grail card? What's the card that you'd love to add to your collection?
It'd be a Topps Chrome refractor of Kobe. I'd take it at any grade.
Wow. Okay. I like that too. And can you wish Luka Nation a Happy New Year?
Hey, Happy New Year's, Luka Nation. Can't wait to see what's in store for this next year. I hope everyone well, and hope you guys are all able to get some grails this year.
I want to say Happy New Year to Jace. I hope he got his apple juice.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that right now because he's mad at me. All right, guys.
Thanks, Giovanni.
Everyone,
thanks for having me.
Except for the big guy, the Cage. What's your favorite moment in the podcast or in the hobby this year?
Right now, the last hour, putting faces with names, getting everybody together. Wishing a Happy New Year. Looking back on last year, but looking forward to what we're gonna do in 2021. But my more important moment, the biggest thing is let's get Jordan, man. That's the producer. That's behind the scenes. You forgot about Jordan. Let's put him on the spot.
Behind the scenes, you go. Go ahead.
There he is. That's it, man. He's the wizard. He's behind the curtain.
He really is. Jordan, can you introduce yourselves and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, I'm Jordan.
Mr. Personality. Come on.
From Winnipeg, Manitoba. Obviously, got a lot of personality, which is my forte is behind the scenes. So I'm a role player, man. I play my role.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
I'm the glue guy. I'm a great locker room guy.
We all share the same favorite TV show, I think. And I think that's what bonds us. We're all huge Office fans.
Oh, hands down.
Jordan, what's your favorite moment in the hobby or from the podcast this year? I know you're a huge fan of cages, but is there anything else other than cage drinking and pounding soda that stuck out to you from our podcast this year that really you'd love to mention?
Wow.
Putting Jordan on the spot. He didn't know this question was coming because we haven't asked it 40 times in the last hour.
I'll be honest. I mean, I've been a listener since probably some episode in the 20s. I think the episode I remember was labeled Cage forgets to label his PSA sub.
I forgot
probably
to label.
Still waiting for that sub to come back in. So. And yeah, I mean, I was kind of listening here and there, realizing, getting back in the hobby earlier this year, that I was just looking for places to find information. I was basically, eBay was my source of information. I got in, listening to Gary Vee, as I'm sure, most people did this year. And I think, I don't know if it was Jay that mentioned it. I think I caught something he posted in his story about this podcast, and I started tuning in just because I was looking for places to soak up information. And I've been a listener ever since. So the Gary episode came much later, but why I'll say that's probably my favorite podcast episode is that's probably what brought us together. For the last I'll say year, I've been doing some freelance videography. And then listening to, the episode with Gary, I think that's what really just kind of gave me the push to reach out and say, hey, I'm passionate both about these two things, that being, making videos and collecting cards. And I think I can be an asset to what you guys are doing here, and and it's kind of been history ever since. So I know we've only been together, I guess 3 months or something like that. But it's been fun, man. I've been really fortunate to be a part of this, and looking forward to what next year is going to bring.
I hope it was as good for you as it's been for me.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. You beat me, Jordan.
Other than the Tiger Woods card that we recommended early on and is in our logo.
It just sold while we were on this call.
I love it. He sold a card during the call. Love it.
So someone just hit buy it now. I've been getting offers all morning. Someone just hit buy it now, so it's gone. I got the money in my PayPal account already, so it's been a good hour.
Wow.
What's your favorite card pickup of the year?
Well, be remiss if I didn't say it was going to be the Tiger Woods that I bought for $300 in May and just sold for $11.99. But
the Trae Young that you got off the big man over there.
Trae. So it's funny. We were just going through this. It's kind of winding down the year, kind of looking back and what the year was for me in terms of the hobby. I obviously had fun, but it's been profitable. So I was kind of looking at the sheets that I track and looking at some numbers. 64% of the profit I made this year has been off Trae Young. I flipped 7 of his base cards, PSA 10s, rolled that into a silver that I bought from Cage. Owned it for all of 4 days. I had it in my possession for 4 days and flipped it. Made some money off Trae this year. So
you would have owned it for longer if it didn't take a month to get to you from the post office.
It didn't take a month to get to me, yeah, for sure. But Trae's been good to me this year. I have to say, being the Lions fan that I am, the 89 score Barry Sanders that I picked up was probably one of the first cards that I picked up when I started actually, getting serious about cards this year, and I still have it. I probably will keep it for a very long time just because, like I said, I'm a Lions fan at heart. Sucker for punishment, and Barry Sanders obviously, took some of that pain away, in the early 90s. So that's a fun card for me. And obviously, you guys brought it back a couple days ago in the episode. So yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite pickup of this year.
Jordan, right before renting this house, I spoke to the landlord, and I was like, we were just getting to know each other because we were renting it for a month. And he's like, you're from America, right? Do you watch American football? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, we want to know something cool. Like Megatron stayed in this house for a few months. So fun little fact for you. That was pretty cool. I thought you'd appreciate that. What's your Grail card? Is it a Wayne Gretzky?
Oh, gee, you know what? I don't even know if I can answer that question right now because I think it changes, from week to week. Ask me in another couple months when all the dust settles, and I am trying to do some consolidation of my PC right now, and I'm kind of trying to refocus on now that I'm getting a little bit more liquid, what am I going to go after next? So that's probably going to take some downtime and think about that and wrap up into 2021.
I agree. Allen and Ginter dual auto of Cage and Andrew. I agree.
It's common.
Yeah, only if you get the Bahamas shirt.
I'm dressing like Mariano.
Mariano Rivera Bahamas shirt.
I am. I'm dressing like Mariano in the card. 100%.
All right. Well, let's wrap it. Jordan, can you wish Luka Nation a Happy New Year?
Happy New Year, Luka Nation. It's been a pleasure. I know it's been a fun ride. I'm sure it's been, a crazy year for us all. But obviously the hobby has brought us a lot of joy. And this podcast has been, the focal point for me and probably for a lot of us. So Happy New Year and all the best in 2021.
Love you guys. I'd be remiss if I didn't take one moment because you guys said all these amazing, nice things about us, and it means the world to us. The support means the world to us. But I want to take a moment to share how special the big man over there is, because we do show up every day, but I've never met anyone like Cage who's able to bring that energy and passion and positivity no matter what's going on in his outside.
Caffeine. It's caffeine.
Sure.
Like a 2-liter bottle.
Really almost done with that thing.
It's truly a special quality, and he's a special person, and he has a huge heart, and he really, really cares about this community we're building. So thank you guys. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
And yeah, I mean, I gave you guys some sentiment before, but it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and getting back into the hobby was a nice escape. And it's not only escape is a bad word because it's a good thing. It's brought a lot of good things out of people, and you know, it's just been a lot of fun, a real great time. I can't express it enough. It really has.
Thank you guys. Thank you so
Guys,
much. Happy New Year.
We're going to definitely
Happy
do
New
this
Year.
at some point in time. There's going to be a live something. I don't know whether it's going to be the National in Chicago or whatever it is. There's going to be, you know, sometime we're going to get together. We'll have a Luka Nation, you know, in person instead of just by Zoom. And, you know, I can't wait for that because, you know, this is a nice little appetizer for that. But, you know, this is great. We appreciate you guys spending some time with us. And, you know, we promise to continue to bring you every day, a little content every day. And seriously, we say it at the end of all of our episodes, and you guys, you're not shy, but tell us what you want to hear, you know, and bring us the ideas. Go right ahead. I mean, that is, I woke up this morning, I had a video idea for Jordan. I'm like, hey, here's my video idea. You know, it's a Tiger Woods one with like Space Jam, Interpose. I'm sure I'm giving him work that's going to take him hours. And I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, Jordan, do it. But, you know, throw out any of those ideas. We love that stuff. So please, we appreciate it. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Wow, hold on.
Go ahead. What do you got, Andrew?
Manny's joining.
Oh, okay, forget it. Everybody's got to stay on. Everybody's got to stay. Where is he?
He just joined, like literally as they were saying bye. Like, come on.
Where is he?
He's joining. He needs to. He's connecting with TikTok first, though.
Oh. He's a TikTok dancer.
Annie.
Yo.
Is
my camera on? Let me turn this on. Hold on.
Look at Manny.
Hey, it's me, Manny.
Manny.
Oh my God.
What's up, legend?
Hi, everybody.
We were ready to drop off. We see you in the waiting room, and I say, you guys got to stay.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's just a quick hello. Sorry,
Gives me a chance to finish this. I told everyone I was gonna finish this. Yeah.
Oh my God, he really does drink a lot of Coca-Cola.
He really does.
I thought it was a myth.
He finished that within like, what has it been? An hour or 2 hours, maybe?
Oh, that's it.
Oh, you're amazing.
Oh, disgusting, I think is the word you're looking for.
Why is your name Andrew Goldberg?
Because in life, you guys talk about your grail cards. You guys talk about the things you want. This is what I want in life. I want to be Andrew Goldberg. So when I come in the Zoom, I pretend I'm Andrew Goldberg.
I bet that made him feel real special.
No, he disappeared. Look.
Yeah, look.
We can't. We're actually the same person.
I got in and he ran off.
Look what he did there. Yes, Yam Wax. I would say my brother is trying to FaceTime me, and he's not. I've declined him 4 times now, so it's not me disappearing on the video. He keeps hitting FaceTime, and I'm keep declining it. He just texted while we're doing this that he hit a Walmart, and they had Prism and Pokemon. So I guess he wants to show me all of his stuff, which is amazing because that never happens to me. So, but yeah. So yeah, I love the quote. I would say I drank a plethora of Coke Zero. 3 amigos, baby. I love it.
So Manny,
it's a sweater.
Manny, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from in the country?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm on the podcast.
You are.
This is so cool. Yeah, I'm Manny. I'm mainly on TikTok, Manny Simone Cards, where I do all Pokemon content related things, everything Pokemon. I'm in South Florida. That's my base, my HQ. But yeah, every day I'm just posting on TikTok and trying to build that following up, whether it's about cards or the game or the anime or just spoofs or anything I can think of creatively and or creativity. God, I can't say that word.
Fastest growing TikTok account. Fastest growing TikTok account. Tell us what's I'll start you with this. What's your favorite card pickup of the year? Let's start there because you posted a set of 3 earlier this week. But what's your favorite pickup of the year?
Yeah, that came in last night. Well, this year, I've only been I collected as a kid Pokemon, and then you stop, and then I got back into card collecting back in August.
Funny, right?
Back in August during the whole craze, and that's when I started buying sports. I never collected sports cards, and then Gary Vee got me into it, and then I discovered you guys, and I was just collecting or buying stuff up like crazy, and then I got into Pokemon cards again. But the best one,
your favorite doesn't have to be the best.
Favorite, I really like that Luka card I got. that's my grail card, even though it's such a common Luka. It's not even a silver prism, it's just the base prism, but that's the best sports card I have, and it's special to me because that's the first PSA sports card I ever bought. I think that is the first sports card I ever got. PSA.
It's my favorite pickup right there.
Hey, the Pikachu LeBron artwork I did.
You painted that?
Yeah, I digitally. Why do you have it? That should be in your son's room.
I just went into his room and got it.
Oh, yeah. I sent them a bunch of prints. I sent them like 20, 30 different pieces of artwork for your kids.
What was your favorite podcast memory of the year, man?
With you guys?
It could be someone else if you want.
Yeah, sure. Talk about Joe Rogan. Why not?
Words very carefully.
Joe Rogan. No, I gotta tell you, man, the most special moments is when I get a shout out. Like I can't tell you how good that feels. Like, wow, they acknowledge me. That feels incredible, man.
You're sure I think you do the same for other people, so it's the least you could get.
Yeah, well, I've been shouting you guys out on the giveaways I've been doing on TikTok. Again, thank you, Matt, for those cards as well. I added a bunch, and then you added a bunch too, and then I've so many packages I got to send off. But the kids are happy. They're doing video responses to the giveaway, man. They're ecstatic. So thank you, Cage.
Awesome, and it's good stuff. I mean, it's just stuff from the basement. You know, we open up a lot of stuff, and it's just stuff that was kind of like laying around. So you hit a nerve, right? That there are kids who don't have access to it, right? So you might as well package them up and make sure they get it. So thanks for doing that.
Talk to them every day, man. They're struggling. They can't find anything. Like me and you can't find anything in stores. Imagine them where they can't drive around. They don't have a car. Their mom will take them to the local Target or Walmart. If nothing's there, that's it. Like, you get nothing. Sucks. And then I'm on TikTok all day. So I see videos all the time. Like, people will brag about clearing the store and spending all this money, and the kids see it like they don't have the money. It's like rubbing in their face, like how they don't have money and can't find anything.
Love it. Can you wish Luka Nation a happy New Year, brother?
Luka Nation, everyone in here, happy New Year. Sorry I'm late. Thank you for sticking around to say hi to me. I appreciate you guys welcoming me, and hope to do this again where I'm here on time.
Matt, don't worry. I see you, Matt. I wouldn't let us go.
Matt. Yeah, listen, you're not the last one. We got more people coming in. It's a rolling New Year fun, man. It's like bowl games.
They have New Year's Eve shopping together. They need to get champagne. We got to let the guys go. Matt, let's do a quick rapid fire. 2 minutes. We'll end at noon Eastern. Matt, where are you from in the country?
I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin area, so I'm just jetting in real quick. I saw you guys are on. I'm like, I got to stop in real quick. So that's all the green stuff in the room. Big Packers guy.
Nice.
Oh. What's your favorite
Rodgers?
What's your favorite memory or podcast moment that you really enjoyed this year?
I love the kombucha moment. I thought that was so funny that I was listening to that. I think it was a Sunday morning, like the NFL preview, and I just lost it when I heard that. I was like, all right, yeah, I gotta listen to this more. I gotta stick around.
What's your favorite card pickup of the year? Did you grab an Aaron Rodgers Topps rookie card?
No, I sent one in the sub. The one I hopped on was your Luka Hoops one a couple months back. I really thought that was a good entry level Luka play for me for that. So that's what I got in on. Hoping to see him show it a little bit.
Love it. Do you have a Grail card, a card, that if you add it to your collection, it's like the pinnacle?
I really don't, like, at this moment. Like, I just kind of got into it a little bit. So like, I don't really have like that big of sights on it. Just love looking at some of the stuff, and I was really into it when I was a kid. So like when I first started, I was just like looking through binders of cards, just like looking through that type of stuff.
Love it, man. Can you wish Luka Nation a happy New Year?
Hey, happy New Year, Luka Nation. I gotta get out of here, but I figured I'd stop in. Love you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you,
Matt.
Thank you for sticking around.
This was fun, man.
You're fun.
No.
How long were you guys on?
It's been like hours.
Dang.
Yeah, we got on at like 10, right?
A little after 10, yeah.
I spent a couple minutes.
Manny.
What do you got there? Yeah.
Long enough for me to draw this. I'm a terrible drawer. But you inspired me, dude.
That's awesome. That's my little sister's favorite Pokemon, Umbreon. Are we
I'll make a
leaving?
photocopy.
All right. Did we say later? What are we doing?
These guys.
Oh, bye, guys.
See you
Thank you
guys
so much
later.
for doing this. This is an absolute blast.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year,
everyone.
guys.
Stay safe.
Been
Happy
fun to
New Year,
hang.
guys.
Andrew just muted me. I can't even say Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. This is no fun.
Happy
This is
New
why I'm
Year.
the host. Guys, listen, we love you all. Happy New Year.
Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lukas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.